Ever looked in a mirror and felt it stare back, knowing secrets you never told? Welcome to Shadow Watch, where we chase tales that haunt the dark. Tonight, we're in Charleston, South Carolina, a city of cobblestone streets and buried sins where mirrors don't reflect, they cry. Meet the crying mirrors of Ravenel Manor, weeping at midnight, showing your fate. And if they choose you, there's no turning back. Stay close, this story's twists will grip you tighter than you know. This is Elias Quinn, a 32-year-old historian, sharp-driven chasing ghosts in old records. It's April 2025, and he's in Charleston's French Quarter, a maze of gaslit alleys and antebellum homes, to research a 1760s legend for a university grant. The locals whisper of Ravenel Manor, a crumbling estate its mirrors cursed to weep and show fates, deaths, betrayals, truths. Elias rents a room in the manor, air thick with dust and magnolia, his laptop ready, but the house hums low like it's alive. His first night, Elias explores, noting warped floors and faded portraits. The air's heavy chandeliers creaking, but a sound starts faint. Not wind, like sobbing from the walls. His pulse jumps. He's alone. No one's near. But the manor's grand hall holds a mirror. Tall gilded, its glass rippling wet. He steps closer and it cries, Elias. A whisper, not his showing a shadow. His face older, broken, fallen. His breath stops fear, raw. In his room he checks his notes, but the sobbing grows, weaving words, not his, a betrayal. He never faced a death. Not his own. Elias isn't superstitious, but this isn't nerves. He digs online, finding scraps about Mary Ravenel, a 1760s matriarch, her mirrors cursed after a blood oath, binding fates, guilt, secrets, lies. After her death, the mirrors stayed weeping for those marked. Elias laughs it off, tourist bait, but his journal's open words scrawled. You'll see not his pen about a family secret he never knew. A debt unpaid. Next morning, he asks a groundskeeper, Ruth, about the mirrors. Her eyes narrow. Don't look after dark. Sir, they know you. Elias smirks old tales, but Ruth's hands tremble like she's seen them weep. He returns to the hall, air thick with ash. The sobbing returns, Elias sharper, weaving his name with dread, a fate unclear. His flashlight dims the mirror's glass, shifting, not reflecting, but showing a street old, a man like him falling, blood pooling. The manor feels alive, watching. The sobbing spikes, Elias, then more. You failed. You hid his fears, raw, spilling from the mirror. A creak sounds not wood behind him. The sobbing chants, cold like frost in his veins. Elias bolts his room in sight, but the manor's heavy pulsing. His thoughts, not his, looping a man's scream, a fire's crackle. Inside he's panting, journal glowing faintly, his name etched in tears alive. Charleston hides its curses, but the mirror's sobs cut deep. What would you do with a mirror that shows your end, a fate that names you? Would you look or run? Elias is about to learn what the crying mirrors want, and it's not just a tale. Stay tuned, this story's rising darker than Charleston's oldest graves. Elias's hands tremble, the journal, glowing in his grip, his name etched in tears. You'll see, not his hand. The crying mirrors, sobbing, weaves through Ravenel Manor, spilling secrets of family debt he never knew, a fate he can't grasp. The air's heavy Charleston, pressing in shadows, curling not with dust, but intent their whispers, threading his thoughts, sharp, raw. He's chased history before, but this isn't research. It's a snare, and the mirrors have him caught. He slams the journal shut, but the sobbing grows, chanting Elias through the walls, soft, relentless, naming his dread. Elias dives into records, digging into Mary Ravenel, the 1760s matriarch. Her blood oath cursed the mirrors, binding fates, guilt, betrayals, truths. A letter hints at her parlor never sealed, always calling those with sins. Elias scoffs, but the sobs burn, and the mirror's not myth. It's here. He steps out, flashlight shaking, the manor's darker portraits creaking the hall, glowing faintly. The air's thick with ash and salt. The sobbing shifts, chanting Elias, then sharper. You failed. His fears spill from the mirror, raw. His light catches tears streaking the glass, pulsing red like blood in fog. The manor feels alive, watching. A creak sounds not wood, but steps deliberate. The sobbing chants Elias weaving his doubts. You hid, you broke. Small fears, heavy, burned into his mind. Elias pushes deeper, reckless, needing answers. The sobbing grows louder. A chorus now, naming his flaws, his fate. He reaches the parlor, a tall mirror gleaming, tears pooling at its base alive. The sobbing spikes Elias cold from the glass. Not the air, shadows move. Not dust, but shapes blurred their eyes, glinting, reflecting his dread. His shame, too many, Mary's curse. He kneels, finding a frame etched with names, Mary's 1760s carved, then others Elias's, fresh wet like tears. His throat locks. This isn't history, it's a claim. Mary's mirrors are her voice, her oath binding Charleston's souls. The sobbing chants Elias promising truth if he stays ruin. If he runs, the shadows curl clearer now. Not people, but fates, his others hungry alive. Elias backs away, flashlight flickering. The parlor shrinks, walls, groaning shadows snagging his arms, cold like ash and mist urging him to stay. He trips, journal, falling pages, open new words, you're hers. The shadows hiss, their eyes locking his, peeling his soul, a debt he didn't know, a truth. He dodged, the mirror pulses red, and something moves not light but glass, rippling toward him alive, claiming. He bolts, portraits, rattling the sobbing, roaring, Elias weaving his name with pain, a secret he buried, a fate he cracked. The manor blurs, parlor, fading shadows gliding, not chasing but waiting. His room's ahead, door ajar, though he locked it. Journal glowing inside his name, boulder etched deep. He slams it shut, panting. The sobbing fades but lingers in him, looping. His thoughts are no longer his. Charleston hides its snares, but the mirror's sobs cut deep. What would you do with a fate that knows your heart, a truth that never blinks? Would you look or run? Elias is caught in the mirror's curse and it's not letting go. Stay with us. This story's weeping louder, darker than Charleston's oldest stones. Elias's breath catches the room's walls closing in. The journal lies shut, but its glow seeps through his name, pulsing in tears alive. The crying mirror's sobbing lingers not outside, but inside him, threading his thoughts, his fears a family secret. He never faced a fate he can't escape. Charleston's air is thick, not with magnolia but dread, as if the manor itself breathes watching, waiting. Elias knows history, but this is different. It's not his story, it's theirs. He grabs his recorder, replaying the sobs, but they're louder, chanting Elias then Mary, weaving his name with a scream from centuries past. His laptop's open old deeds of Mary Ravenel flickering. A matriarch betrayed her oath, cursing the mirrors, binding souls. Elias's eyes burn, not from dust, but visions. Unasked a fire, a blade, a woman's cry his own. The sobbing spikes, Elias pulling his mind to the parlor not by choice but force. He resists, but his feet move, drawn to the hall. The night's black stars gone, only tears gleaming in the mirror, red like blood. The sobbing's a chorus, now not whispers but voices, naming his fears, his shame, his fate clear as ice. He reaches the parlor, tears pooling faster, glass trembling. Shadows rise not blurred but sharp, their forms twisting. Mary's face eyes hollow. Then Elias's mirrored guilty. The air cracks, and Mary's there, not flesh but shadow. Her voice the sobbing, "You're mine." Elias freezes. The parlor shifts, walls bending, glass splitting, pulling him into a memory, not his, but Mary's. He's in 1760s, Charleston cobblestones underfoot, a crowd cursing a blade glinting. Mary's eyes lock on his, not accusing, but knowing seeing Elias's sins a debt he didn't know, a truth he hid. The sobbing chants, "You failed," and Elias is back in 2025 gasping, but Mary's shadow clings her voice in his throat. Cold, stay. Elias fights, clawing at the air, but the shadows press their eyes. His own reflecting every fear, every lie. The parlor's alive mirrors, weeping, etched with names. Mary's, Elias's, others, centuries of souls, bound by guilt. Mary's shadow whispers, "Speak your fate or join us," Elias's voice breaks. I don't know his secret raw, a family debt he never faced. The sobbing softens, but the shadows tighten their forms, shifting not just Mary but others' faces of Charleston, eyes glinting, hungry for his truth. He stumbles, mirrors, cracking tears, burning red, branding his skin. Mary's shadow looms her voice, the glass. Truth binds lies burn. Elias's mind fractures, seeing his past, a family name tainted, a debt dodged for safety. The sobbing roars, Elias in the parlor pulses, dragging him deeper. Not into glass but memory, his fears replayed endless. He screams, but the shadows drink it, their forms clearer. His face among them twisted, his Elias collapses journal. Falling pages, open words scrawled. You're us. The shadows chant not in anger, but hunger. Their eyes peeling his soul, his guilt, his core. The parlor shakes, glass splitting Mary's shadow, merging with Elias's, her voice, his stay or burn. Charleston's curse isn't history. It's alive and Elias is its claim. What would you do with a fate that traps you? A truth that names you? Would you speak or fade? Elias is sinking into the mirror's grip and Charleston's walls are closing. Stay with us. This story's not done darker than the grave's own heart. Elias is on his knees, the parlor's pulse deafening his breath. Ragged, the crying mirrors circle their forms. Mary's, his. Charleston's lost blurring into one eye's glinting, naming his fears, the journals open. You're us, etched in tears, dust dripping like blood. The sobbing's not outside but in his bones. Mary's voice, speak or burn. Elias's mind splits his past, his guilt, a family's face fading his fault. Charleston's curse isn't folklore, it's him. He grips the floor mirrors, weeping tears burning his palms. The shadows chant, Elias their voices, his own looping his failures, a truth he hid, a debt he dodged. Mary's shadow looms not separate but part of him, whispering. Truth frees. Elias's voice cracks. I carry it, his secret, spilling raw. A family debt he never knew, a sin he inherited. The sobbing falters shadows, pausing, but the parlor tightens, walls groaning, claiming. Elias stands shaky journal, glowing words, shifting, break or bind. He digs into Mary's history, a scrap in his mind, a ritual. Blood for blood, truth for truth. The shadows hiss their forms. Clearer, faces of Charleston's damned eyes, hungry. Elias cuts his palm, blood dripping, mixing with tears, mirrors flaring, red, then white. The sobbing screams Elias, not in hunger, but pain. Mary's shadow, fracturing her face, his then gone. The parlor shakes mirrors, cracking shadows, dissolving their eyes, fading, not gone, but weakened. Elias runs, journal. Clutched tears dimming his name erased. The manor blurs, Charleston streets ahead. But the sobbing lingers soft in his blood, whispering Elias not a claim, but a warning. His room's dark door locked, journal blank, but his reflection. His eyes not his glint. Red, Mary's. He packs heart pounding. Charleston's air, heavy watching. The sobbing's faint, but the shadows wait, not in the manor but him. Elias drives highway stretching dawn, breaking, but the journal glows a single word. Stay. He gasps, swerving his reflection, shifting Mary's smile, his. The sobbing returns, soft. Truth binds. Elias is free, but not whole. Charleston's curse clings alive in him. What would you do with a fate that follows a truth that haunts? Would you run or face it? Elias is out of Charleston, but the mirror's sobs never fade. If your heart's racing, smash that like share your fears below. Would you face the mirrors? Subscribe to Shadow Watch. Hit the bell for more tales that chill your nights. Next time, we're diving darker unless you're too scared to hear.